This is Duke University.
A dominant finding from the August 2014 CMO survey is the amount of money that companies are spending on digital marketing generally, but also social media. Companies expect to increase their marketing spending by 5.1% over the next year, and they expect to increase their digital marketing by 10.8%. And just to put that number in context, we expect to see a decrease in traditional advertising of 3.6%. When we look at social media, we see that companies are spending about 9.4% of their marketing budgets on social media. These numbers are expected to increase to 13.2% in the next year and 21.4% over the next 5 years. The increase in digital marketing spend and social media spending are both reflecting an increase in company sales through the internet. It's interesting that we observe a 25% increase just in the last year in sales through the internet. Despite the increase that we see in social media spending, companies are still experiencing trouble actually using and measuring social media fully within their strategies. For example, we observe no change on a reoccurring metric that we've been looking at since February of 2011, which is the extent to which social media marketing is integrated with the rest of the company's marketing. This has been 3.9 on a 7-point scale for the last 3.5 years. There are a number of reasons for this integration problem, but one that I would point to is the fact that companies appear to be spending most of their money in social media on technology and not on human capital. So we see absolutely no increase in the number of people that are being hired by companies to do social media marketing. Survey findings indicate that companies are spending more on what we call referral metrics, for example, buzz metrics or net promoter score, and they're spending less on traditional kinds of financial metrics, for example, profits or revenues, spent by the customer. And this seems appropriate in the sense that these buzz metrics or net promoter score should be predicting financial outcomes, but that's the connection that companies need to make between these intermediate buzz metrics, net promoter score, for example, back to the financial outcomes that they so need as part of their social media efforts. We asked marketing leaders if they're using data that they've collected about online customer behavior to target customers, and 41% of them report that they're doing so, and of those, 80% expect that this number will actually increase over time. One of the questions that emerges from that finding is issues around privacy. What we observe is that most marketers are actually not concerned about the use of such data, about average on a 7-point scale where the mean is of 3.4. Most marketers feel that this targeting that they're doing and the use of customer data is really part of the relationship that they have with the customer. That when the customer engages in the relationship, the marketer can use that information to offer them products and services that are more appropriate, that fit better for them, and that they probably are interested in. Another area of growth that we see with the CMO survey is in the area of marketing analytics. Marketers report that they're spending about 7.1% of their budgets currently on marketing analytics, and this number is expected to increase to 12.3% over the next 3 years. This is a 73% increase in budgets expected over that time period. Despite the high spending that we see on marketing analytics and the expected increases that we see over time, the contribution of marketing analytics to company performance remains very modest, and we have seen no increases on this metric since we've been asking it for the last 3 years. And I think part of the reason for this is that companies are not evaluating the quality of their marketing analytics. So they're collecting a lot of data, but they're not spending time improving the quality of those analytics. And they're also not performing enough experiments. So what we see is that companies report using a variety of different kinds of metrics, for example, for marketing ROI, but they don't do a lot of experimentation. So this means that they're not going to be very confident that the spending that they're engaging in the marketplace is actually causing the effects among consumers.